At Heartland AEA, we offer our 5-day autism training 3 times a year. We've been doing this probably for the last 20 years, but it's really grown and developed over that time. We bring in 5 kids with autism so that people have an opportunity, the teachers and AEA staff who participate have an opportunity every one of those 5 days to work with students. So they're learning something on each day, and then they actually get an opportunity to practice, and we can coach them through implementing specific activities or strategies with the students. And one of the things, because we're having older students, is a coffee shop, and so that's a great opportunity for some of our kids like Max and Kyle and Grant to actually practice some of those vocational skills. So making change, greetings, those social interactions.
Max loves coming. He just can't wait until the next session that you guys have. All summer long, he's been talking about July's coming, right? July's coming. Yes, July's coming. Training, right? I get to go to training. Yes, you get to go to training. So he looks forward to doing the coffee shop. And when he's doing the actual coffee shop, it actually helps him with his math skills. He's learning without realizing that he's learning, and that's wonderful.
So from teachers, we always get wonderful feedback. It's a very intense training, but it's very fun, and people learn a lot. So we get really positive feedback. People want to come back. They're recommending it to their other teachers.
I really wish I would have learned about this before I even started my teaching, because I could have really dug deeper into things 4 years ago. But I'm so thankful they offered this. I'm so glad it was a 5-day. I'm so glad it wasn't just a sit-down lecture, and they incorporated the technology, and they brought in all the materials to use, and we were able to take picture things, ask questions, and it was very hands-on. We had speakers every day. It was just the most amazing training I've ever been in, ever.
So most of the parents that we work with are just really proud to have their kids participate, and just it's something that they can give back, but then they also find that they're learning things too during that week. And so the kids are coming home, and the parents are like really excited about the things they've learned. So it's that giving back, plus they're also learning.
My boys have come a long way. I mean, it's baby steps, but it's wonderful baby steps. You know, it's steps that they wouldn't have come to now if we hadn't been able to come to AEA. Without them, I don't think Max and Joe would be where they are now. And Max is, I mean, you've seen Max. He's 13 now, and he's come a long way, a long way.
Woodward Granger started with the Clarity Survey in the spring of 2013. It had just come out, and so they wanted to kind of dive into it and see what they could get. They received that data that fall, which is when I started working with them. And so looking through that data together, along with their technology team, we saw that digital assistantship was really an area that needed to be looked at.
Honestly, we've relied on Heartland very much in terms of making sure that we're utilizing the data appropriately, that we have all the data in our hands that we need, and that we are going through the process in the way that it was intended to go through.
The really nice thing too is that we've been able to take that data and not only share it with our teachers, but we've been able to put it together and share it with our school board. And we had some real ahas in one of our last board meetings. I think that's one of the things that I've always appreciated about Heartland, is that no matter what person you're working with, and in this case it's Travis, we have been able to say, okay, this is the vision of our district, this is where we think we're going, and so he finds and supports whatever that vision is. And then he's able to give us the additional ideas or technologies that will help support that vision. So that's always been a wonderful thing working with him.
I've really noticed a difference in the one-to-one initiative that we've taken on at the school district, how Heartland's been there to support that. It could have been an absolute sink or swim scenario, and you guys just go ahead and do it and we'll see how far it goes. That has not happened because of Heartland at this particular point, and they have been there along the way to support not only us as administrators, but our teachers and our students. Ultimately, that's where it's come down, and that's been a big plus for our district in order to maintain and move forward as a district.
In the summer of 2013, we had a chance to take a look at our data and were notified that we were a school in need of assistance. We asked the Heartland AEA staff if there'd be any way that we could get some additional support in addition to our special education team, and we were fortunate enough to have Kristen assigned to our district.
Yeah, so I came to the school and just tried to get to know the teachers and just tried to figure out, what was it that was holding them back? Because it was, this is a group of teachers I could tell right away. They are passionate and they are talented and they love kids, and yet their data wasn't reflecting it. So just trying to figure out what were we missing here? What was different that we needed to do?
She works miracles, actually. She's had an opportunity to work with all of our teachers. She provides feedback to them. She demonstrates good instructional practices. She provides professional development. She's a sounding board for folks if they want to try something different. She's a cheerleader. She just is somebody that people trust.
We buy into Kristen a lot because she does have a wealth of knowledge, and that helps when you're trusting someone else in your own classroom.
She's there to help you be successful, and then in turn your students are successful.
But it's just a breath of fresh air to know that you're not in this teaching profession all by yourself anymore. When I first started teaching, I was on my own. I only sectioned a 5th grade at this little school that was so dear to my heart, but I know I could have been a much better teacher if I would have had an instructional coach with me.
We have lots of resources available to us that we don't always use, but that resource is one of the best things I did for myself and my kids last year. Is to tap into that instructional coach and have her just do what her title says, coach me along.
So we progressively saw the data get better across all grade levels. So we had more kids proficient in their basic skills, more kids meeting benchmarks in fluency and in phonics. So the data just kept growing all year long, and I think that success just made everybody feel like their hard work was paying off, and so that just breeded more success, and people were just more excited to keep working together and asking for help, really.
Kristen's a real special person because of her attitude. She just has a can-do attitude. She's always thinking about ways to grow, and so she's just really great about getting people enthused about student improvement and continuous improvement as a professional, and it's just been a huge gift for us in Winterset.
Aiden was born March 22nd, 2011, and our journey is a little bit unique because during my pregnancy we found out about his diagnosis. He is diagnosed with Emanuel syndrome. It's a very rare chromosome imbalance. There's about 200 to 300 people in the entire world diagnosed with that. So we were quickly identified as needing some services even before he was born. So we've kind of been working with Heartland the whole time. Leslie has helped us get access to different equipment that we would need to figure out what things would work for him. We're able to use a couple different pacers, gait trainers, and he loves those, and so then we kind of learned what works for him and how to have that accessible to him later in the classroom, and then also what we can have at home. And then also the kind of new program that the PTs made, the adaptive maters. Aiden got to be one of the first kids that Leslie had trial one of those, and he loved it. And then we made one for him for his birthday. So that was a fun thing to get to do too, that she helped us with.
Aiden turned 3 last spring, and so we transitioned him to an ECSC room in Southeast Polk. We did weekly visits to the classroom. Aiden's family got to meet the teacher, and we had him visit at various times of the day.
We were blessed to be able to transition to the preschool setting with all of the therapists scheduling multiple classroom visits where they were along with us, helping figure out what he needs in the classroom and helping us get acquainted with what they would be doing with him and for him, and getting acquainted with the staff. And so that was actually kind of a long and helpful process of multiple classroom visits where we got to do all that with our therapist and getting him ready for the classroom setting. And then also, like with his communication device, getting ready for that to have school vocabulary in it and for other staff to be using that.
You know, he was a little superstar when he started preschool and met some of his goals fairly quickly. They're continuing to work on expanding the communication. He's continuing to work with the same physical therapist, trying to work on sitting more independently, learning to stand, and they're hopeful that one day he'll walk.
I can't imagine trying to do this without resources like Heartland. I can't imagine trying to search those all out myself while also trying to deal with his team of 12 doctors. You know that it's a lot to balance, and so that's one of the benefits is the services come to us, they help equip us with what we need to know and what resources we have access to that we didn't even know, like his communication device. Heather helped us with that. We didn't even know that was an option for him, and she said, let's have our assistive technology specialist come out and meet with him, and we didn't even know there was such a thing as an assistive technology specialist, and things like that that then kind of walk into our lives that bring the resources closer to us and help us know even what to know about or ask for, and that we don't even really have to ask, it's just provided for us, has been such a benefit. So I can't imagine, you know, certainly he wouldn't have made any of the areas of progress that he's made without their assistance, and we are truly blessed.